Hi everyone, Bandanner here. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Broken Arrow devlog, this time with the final US Specialization. The US Special Forces, or Special Operations Forces. They've also premiered this with a rather cool video, which you can see a little bit in the background now. However, I will play the entire thing after we've read through the devblog. So let's get straight into it. The Special Operations Forces distinguish themselves from the regular military units by their training to accomplish raids on high-value targets, often located behind enemy lines, rather than frontally attacking the enemy forces. The success of these operations relies on three main factors: speed, stealth, and a high level of support proportionally to the number of soldiers involved. And in Broken Arrow, this army specialization is the embodiment of these principles. Hard-hitting infantry coming with the various special forces groups and the 75th Ranger Regiment, equipped with the latest weapons airdropped or transported by fast vehicles and helicopters from the 160th SOAR, the Special Operations Aviation Regiment, and supported by stealth drones and planes. And yes, that is a B-2 stealth bomber hidden in the back of this image. Let me know down in the comments if you can spot anything else in this image of interest, like I don't know the name of that stealth drone, for example. Though I guess we're going to find out what it all is in a few minutes. Okay, so what is it going to look like in-game? Well, reconnaissance. Special Forces Reconnaissance is fighting recon. They have stealth and optics, but on top of that they have the weapons. Blend into the shadows, keep your eyes on the enemy at all times, and strike when it hurts the most. The Rangers RRC, the Regimental Reconnaissance Company, is a group of elite soldiers from the 75th Ranger Regiment extensively trained to conduct special reconnaissance. In the game, they are represented as a six-man team equipped with either suppressed weapons like the HK-416, D10RS and Mark 46 machine gun, particularly deadly at short range, or with a loadout more dedicated to standoff engagement distances with 7.62mm guns like the SCAR-H, the Mark 48 machine gun, and the SCAR Mark 20 marksman rifle, as well as the M3E1 MAAWS recoilless rifle. I do like a SCAR Mark 20, certainly one of my favourite guns in armour. Then there will be the Ranger Snipers, a three-man team with the best stealth and optics that can be equipped with suppressed rifles and a laser designator. They will come with a Mark 12 special purpose rifle. Specifically, it is a designated marksman rifle in 5.56 by 45 caliber. Then there is the M110 semi-automatic sniper system, chambered in 7.62 by 51. And then the M2010 enhanced sniper rifle, chambered in .300 WM, reaching long distances. Alternatively, an anti-material configuration is possible with the Barrett M107, chambered in the 12.7 by 99, and the two additional soldiers holding security equipped with M4A1 Mod 2 rifles and AT4 rocket launchers. See, it's all my favourite guns now. I do love the Barrett. If anyone's ever watched my Stalker Gamma playthrough, I drooled over the Barrett when I got that. Next up, of course, are the Green Berets, specialists of infiltration and behind enemy lines operations. The four-man Green Beret team come equipped with three very different, sometimes unconventional, but always deadly loadouts. Firstly, a long-range sniper contest loadout with four different sniper rifles, each with a different range and caliber. The SCAR Mark 20 in the 7.62, the MRGG-S in the 6.5 Creedmoor, the Mark 20 ASR in the .338 Norma Magnum, and the M107 Barrett in the 50 cal. A medium-range loadout with the MRGGA rifles, Mark 48 machine gun and SCAR Mark 20 marksman rifle, and the XM25 Punisher grenade launcher. And finally, there is a short-range loadout with a suppressed HK-416, and I assume that's a Mark 46, though they've written 416, and the M202 Flash Incendiary rocket launcher. But there is still more, the Para-Rescue or STT. The Air Force Special Forces come as a six-man team with two possible loadouts: the Close Quarters Combat Para-Rescue Men with suppressed HK-416s, the Mark 46 shotguns, multiple charges of smoke grenades, and flashbangs which instantly panic the enemy squads located in the building they assault. Special Tactics Team, on the other hand, is equipped with long-range weapons, the MRGGA, the KAC-AMG, and the MRGGS. as well as Stinger anti-aircraft missiles in their newer J variant, and a laser designator. These guys really are getting all the gear. Okay, on to vehicles. So the M-ATV is a mine-resistant, ambush-protected MRAP vehicle regularly used by the Special Forces. It is equipped with a remote weapon station, which can be fitted with an M2 Browning, a Mark 19 automatic grenade launcher, and optionally a Javelin top attack anti-tank missile. A Special Forces operator is also peeking out from this vehicle to engage targets with its M107 50 cal sniper rifle, when the vehicle is not on the move, of course. Okay, now we get my stealth drone. So this is the RQ-170 Sentinel. Seeing without being seen is a powerful ability provided by this fast and stealthy high-altitude drone. Enemies who know they are being observed act carefully and change their position regularly, while those who don't know are easy targets, unless they fall into paranoia because they feel constantly observed. Doesn't say anything else about that drone, but I'm wondering, can it not be targeted by radar AA or something? Then there's an old favourite, the MQ-9 Reaper. The Reaper drone is the most heavily armed drone in the US arsenal, with the possibility to carry 2 500-pound smart bombs, up to 8 Hellfire missiles, and the ability to combine Stinger or AIM-9 anti-air missiles. And now we're getting onto the infantry, and to be honest, after all that very impressive recon infantry, what are they going to give us here? So first up are, of course, the Delta Force. A full detachment of 12 men with the best training and equipment, limited in number but deadly wherever they go. Equipped for CQC with suppressed weapons, shotguns, the M32 multiple grenade launcher, and flashbangs, they can clear buildings in seconds with this loadout. Or, for a long-range engagement, the newest MRGGA rifles, the MRGGS marksman rifles, the KAC AMG, all chambered in 6.5mm Creedmoor, a very performant munition and very expensive, designed for competition shooting and adopted by the US Special Forces. I would just like to note I'm loving the image they've got for this. Okay, next up are the Rangers. This is a 9-man squad and it's the backbone of this specialisation. They can be equipped with the Small D bunker buster ammunition on top of the M4A1 Mod 3 and the M249 Para, as well as the M320 grenade launcher. Or you can trade the Small D for a pair of Scar H marksman rifles and a RWS Carl Gustav recoilless rifle. Then there are the Rangers RAWS. This is a 6-man team dedicated to short-range anti-tank duty with 3 RAWS launchers that can be upgraded to the M3E1 MAAWS with more range and more armor penetration. This team leaves very little chance for the enemy armor to escape, even if they are equipped with active protection systems because of the sheer volume of anti-tank projectiles being fired. Then there are the Rangers Support Anti-Tank and Anti-Air teams. The 6-man team composed of 2 pairs with the MG338 machine gun, a modern machine gun chambered in .338 Norma Magnum with very long range similar to an M2 Browning, and 1 pair equipped with either the Stinger J anti-aircraft missile or the Javelin top attack anti-tank missile fitted with a newer lightweight command launch unit, or the LWCLU, giving it a longer engagement range. Next up are the Mark 47 Striker teams. A 6-man squad equipped with 2 Mark 47 Striker automatic grenade launchers shooting 40mm programmable airburst grenades able to hit the usual ground targets but also helicopters if they don't fly too fast. Now that sounds nasty. Okay, so what about this deck's vehicles? Well, the Special Forces deck offers no independent fighting or support vehicles, but proposes a variety of transports that can be customized with different weapons, able to provide high mobility fire support. The Ranger Special Operations Vehicle, or the RSOV, based on the Land Rover Defender, is a light transport, can transport up to 6 men at speeds of up to 130 km per hour on roads, which makes it the fastest non-flying infantry transport available to the US. It is not armoured, however you can put an M2 Browning or Mark 47 grenade launcher on top of it. Next up is the Flyer GMV. Slightly slower than the RSOV with a maximum speed of 120 km per hour, this vehicle can also carry 6 men, but has access to a wider range of weapons, including the M2, the Mark 47, but also the GAU-19 50 cal minigun, the M230 LF 30mm autocannon, which makes mincemeat of enemy reconnaissance units and can wreak havoc with the enemy rear lines. Next up is the LMTV Warpig, a conversion of the LMTV truck stripped from absolutely everything that is not mission essential to make room for more weapons, ammo, fuel, spare parts, etc. This truck is designed to conduct long-range missions behind enemy lines. It can carry up to 12 personnel at speeds of up to 95 kilometers an hour. It is equipped with an M240 medium machine gun for front passenger, as well as a second pintile mount weapon in the back. You can choose between another M240 to make this as cheap as possible, or an M2 Browning, or a Mark 47 Striker, or Fletcher laser-guided rockets, or a TOW-2 to support the infantry at longer ranges. That sounds like a lot of options to me for what is effectively a transport truck. That is, however, all the vehicles, so not a lot there. What about helicopters then? So the Special Forces are supported by helicopters of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the SOAR. Transport helicopters are up first, so the MH-6M Little Bird, a very agile helicopter able to carry 6 soldiers and small enough to easily land between 2 buildings. Its agility is required as it doesn't have any countermeasures to lure enemy missiles away. It can be upgraded with an optronic ball to turn it into a cheap recon helicopter. Next up is the classic MH-60M Blackhawk. This is of course the most modern version of the medium lift helicopter, equipped with better sensors and electronic countermeasures than the regular army version. With a carrying capacity of 12, it can transport 2 Ranger fire teams at once, allowing to occupy a position with a mix of anti-tank and anti-air units in one go. Each side is covered by an M240 machine gun that can be upgraded to a GAU-17 minigun or a GAU-21 fast-firing 50 cal. Next up is a stealth chopper, the MH-60X Silent Hawk. This top-secret helicopter, featuring noise reduction and stealth technology, enables the infiltration of troops deep inside enemy territory without being detected. It is, however, completely unarmed, and its flight performance is not the best. You know, it might not have the best flight performance and it might not have weapons, but it does look very, very cool. Okay, next up is another classic, the MH-47G Chinook. This version of the cargo helicopter incorporates advanced countermeasures and sensors, as well as extra armor and 4 weapon stations instead of 2. You can install up to 4 GAU-21s, lift up to 12.5 tons of cargo, and carry up to 32 fully equipped soldiers. The protection can be further upgraded with the Large Aircraft Infrared Countermeasures, or the LAIR-CM pods. Next up is the CV-22B Osprey. So, the tilt-rotor aircraft is used by the Air Force's 352nd Special Operations Wing to transport special tactics teams. This aircraft can fly as fast as a plane and land like a helicopter. The downside is that it requires time to slow down, so you cannot improvise an emergency landing with it. It can be upgraded with a belly-mounted GAU-17 minigun. Okay, more helicopters. Now we're on to reconnaissance and attack helicopters. First up is the AH-6M Killer Egg. This is an armed version of the Little Bird. It cannot transport troops, but instead carries 2 times the GAU-17 miniguns and the possibility to assign on each side a different weapon. You can choose between the GAU-19B 50 cal minigun, or a pod of 7 Hydra rockets, 8 DAGR guided rockets, a pair of Hellfire missiles, or a pair of Stinger missiles. Like the MH-6, this helicopter has no countermeasures and must count on its agility to fly low between buildings, but in expert hands it can be extremely cost effective as it is very cheap. So basically, how good is your unit micro? Next up is the MH-60M DAP, the Direct Action Penetrator, which is a version of the Blackhawk. It is half transport, as it retains the possibility to carry 6 soldiers, and half combat helicopter, as it can be equipped with a large variety of weapons, including the M230 30mm chain guns, unguided and guided 70mm rockets, Hellfires, and Stinger missiles. It is also equipped with one of the best ECM protections available. Oh, we are now in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. the RH-66 Comanche. In Broken Arrow's alternative timeline, the two prototypes of the RAH-66 stealth helicopter have not been shelved as museum pieces, but have reached active service in the 160th SOAR to escort the MH-60X in their perilous missions. They feature retractable weapon bays which can carry a mix of guided and unguided rockets, Hellfires and Stinger missiles. A radar can also be installed on top of the rotor to increase the detection range and see first in addition to being seen last. That's probably a good tagline for this chopper. Next up is the AH-64E Guardian, the most advanced variant of the AH-64 helicopter. It can be equipped with a large payload of guided or unguided rockets, the JAG-M anti-tank missiles with extended range compared to a standard Hellfire. The wingtips can also be equipped with additional Stinger missiles or extra ECM protection. This helicopter is the bane of any enemy armoured groups, which can be destroyed in a matter of seconds by volleys of top attack missiles. It really does look like a really beefy version of the AH-64, right? Okay, we're moving on to planes now, and there's some treats in here as well. First up are the AC-130U Spooky and the AC-130J Ghost Rider. The famous gunship aircraft will unleash a hailstorm of fire on enemy units located within its turn radius. In the game, we have decided to let you mix multiple versions of the aircraft, so you can choose between the U version with the 25mm GAU-12 equalizer and 40mm Bofors cannon and the 105mm howitzer, or the J version with the 30mm GAU-23 autocannon and the 105mm howitzer. But on top of that, you can equip all the most modern guided weapons like the GBU-53 small diameter bombs or Hellfire missiles under the wings, and Griffin missiles launched through the rear ramp on targets laser designated by the aircraft itself. So not only are you getting these effective gunships, you're also kind of getting upgrades that they might not have had in real life for them. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming they didn't fire Griffin missiles out the back. I must admit, I am very much looking forward to using those. I wondered if they were going to make a sort of comeback to the game, because in very early versions of the betas, you'll see from videos I did back then, it was in the armory at one point. Anyhow, let's move on. So the MC-130H is a special forces version of the C-130 aircraft, fitted with additional countermeasures, ideal to airdrop special forces and their light vehicles from low altitude in contested airspace. Up to 64 paratroopers or 20 tons of equipment can be airdropped. Then there is an oldie but a goodie, the F-117 Nighthawk. The iconic black jet, officially retired in 2008, is still flying to this day and continues to be certified for new capabilities. Will it get a second life? At least in Broken Arrow it will. The stealth aircraft is a precision bomber able to carry two smart bombs of £500, £1,000 or £2,000, as well as the new JSO gliding bombs with their cluster warhead, or indeed a pair of JASSM cruise missiles. Next up is one we probably would have expected, and that is the F-35A Lightning II. This is the Air Force version of the stealth multi-role aircraft with conventional takeoff and landing. The lack of vertical takeoff capability allows this aircraft to carry heavier loadouts than its USMC counterpart. Each of the two weapon bay doors has an AMRAAM air-to-air missile attached to it, and the bay itself can contain a large panel of weapons. Two additional AMRAAMs, one £500 or £2,000 smart bomb, 4 GBU-53 Stormbreaker small diameter bombs, 1 AGM-154 JSO smart cluster bombs, 1 AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile, or 1 Joint Strike cruise missile. And then of course there is another favourite that is coming to the game, and that is the F-22 Raptor. Initially designed as a pure air superiority fighter, the F-22 lost most of its purpose at the end of the Cold War and gained additional air-to-ground capabilities. It carries by default a pair of short-range infrared AIM-9X Sidewinders, and each ventral weapon bay can contain up to 3 air-to-air missiles, either the AIM-120 AMRAAM or the newest AIM-260 JATM with longer range. 2 missiles, however, can be sacrificed to carry 1,000-pound bombs, either JDAM or JSO, or 4 Stormbreaker small diameter bombs. Okay, now we've had a small cheer for the F-22 Raptor, let's get on to the big boy, the B-2 Spirit. The giant flying wing is the most deadly bomber in the US arsenal, with a stealth capability allowing it to approach its target undetected and drop its huge payload of conventional, guided or nuclear bombs. The bomb bay can contain 80 Mark 82 500-pound bombs, 16 Mark 84 2,000-pound bombs or their guided equivalent as the GBU-56L JDAM, 16 AGM-154 JSO 1,000-pound cluster gliding bombs, 16 JASSM cruise missiles, or the B-61 tactical nuke. 16 in reality, but that's a bit overkill for our scale. I think that's pretty reasonable, because if we gave it 16 tactical nukes, then it would pretty much wipe out the map, right? Okay, we're coming towards the end, so all US specializations have now been revealed. You know the 5 different specializations available to the US faction: the Marine Expeditionary Unit, the Armored Brigade, the Airborne Infantry, the Striker Cavalry Regiment, and the Special Operations Forces. To build your battle group, you need to choose 2 of them, meaning that there are 10 possible combinations. Some examples they give here are Marine and Armored, that you could play during the 2023 beta. The Marine and Airborne, or Armoured and Airborne, which were added for the second beta in November 2024. And so 7 more combinations will be available at release. This more than triples the diversity of battle groups that you'll be able to play and face on the battlefield. We are very excited to see the game's full potential finally unleashed and eager to see tens of thousands of players facing off in massive multiplayer battles at release, to see which strategies you will employ, how fast counters will be found, and of course we will adapt the game as necessary to offer a truly memorable long-term experience to our players. Multiplayer is what bound our team together and gave us a motivation to create our own game. We really wish to offer this opportunity back to the world and hope that many will be able to experience what we experienced. Sincerely, Steel Balalica team. Well, that's a really nice parting message. Anyhow, that is everything. I think this specialization looks really cool. I think it's got some really good units in, and I'm going to leave you with the entire preview video that they gave us because, well, I think it just sums it up very nicely. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Broken Arrow content, which may be coming sooner than you think.